Let's go, everyone. Toshi here. A little bit of news today. So Honkai Star Rail version 1.0 finished. This is like before release, right? And there's going to be no major changes expected from the last beta testing to the release. So this is huge for a number of reasons. The very first reason I want to mention why this is important. I mean, this is already confirming something we already know, right? Usually with games that are live service, right? So like Honkai Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, pretty much gacha games, right? In general, any live service game usually released with the version 1 before or on release. It's usually complete, so this is already confirming something we knew pretty much. Also, another thing to mention is that a release could be sooner rather than later with this news. Also, I'm not saying March 7th, right? I'm not saying any time in March, but I am saying that I would say quarter, two, probably end of one, we could be looking at a release for the game. And I think that's really nice. I definitely do want this game to come out as soon as possible because I can't imagine waiting longer than we should be waiting for this game, right? The Higa Naruto, waiters, feels bad for you guys, man. Feels bad. But we go down to the comments, and like this person said, memes about March 7th as release date slowly becoming a reality. Now, as like I said before, I would love a March 7th release date, but I don't see it as likely, right? I mean, like, generally, how long can this last beta be? If the beta is like maybe 3 weeks, right, at most, then I really wouldn't expect a March 7th release date, right? They're just scrambling, everything within 1 week to go ahead and get the game ready for launch. I don't really expect that to happen. That seems like something that a indie game company would do. And Hoyo is like, they have very budget heavy games, so it doesn't seem like something that they would do for Honkai Star Rail. But on the contrary of that, like an early release would make sense. So like not being March 7th, but maybe sometime end of March, maybe April. I really do believe that, like, I agree with this person here, right? They're saying pretty much that I pretty much agree with all people here, but they're basically saying that all the like hype behind the game right now, not just the beta, but just the game itself, right? Because there's some people that are not going to get into the beta, right? Like pretty much most people not getting into beta, so they're going to be waiting for the release of the game. And most people that are waiting for the release of the game are actually hyped to play the game. So there is a lot of hype generated right now. And even if Hoyoverse doesn't release the game like soon, then there will still be people waiting for the game to be released, of course. But the sooner they do release it, the more hype, and like this person says, the amount of buzz that is generated right now, the more, the sooner that they do release it, it will make more sense for that release to be soon, just because like the amount of people that are actually ready to play the game. A full release, not just the beta. And so that has me thinking a little bit. I do believe a sooner release makes the most sense, right? Because with the amount of money and advertisements, not only that they just put in, to the game, but the amount of advertisements that the overall audience for the game has been doing, right? I mean, I go to their Discord and I see nothing. And I mean, given we know the actual demographic of Hoyoverse games, right? Like we know who they are, right? But given the amount of people that are actually in the Discord and just like talking to each other, every day and having a good time, man, like it's always a like actual active community when it comes to like the social medias. You look at their Twitter, right? Their Twitter, I mean, it's so many people actually like. Okay, let's go to the Twitter really quickly, right? Let's go to the Twitter of Honkai Star Rail, and like you would just see like how like just how popular it is. Okay, this is the perfect example. Whenever they talk about a new character or they show a new character, you have a lot of people that are just like, retweeting, liking, and then also commenting down. And then like this is the audience of Hoyo games, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. And of course you have people still saying let me in, right? Yeah, me too, me too. But what I'm trying to illustrate is that there is people that are very, writing aside, Hoyo as a company and their games, right? They love that was a nice shot, by the way. They love everything about the games that they put out, right? So the audience for these games are massive, right? Honkai Star has a massive audience. Honkai Impact has a pretty nice audience, and Genshin Impact has an even massive audience, right? So I believe a release date sooner would be best actually for the game itself. And I'm not just saying that, right, because I want to just go ahead and start making videos, like actual videos. I'm not just saying that because of that, although I am saying that just because of that. I really do believe that given the amount of and like the advertisements that they've been like, you know, putting out, right, the ads, and then the community actually hyping up the game generally, right? That's just how usually stuff like this works when you have a sort of event where you tell people to go and follow your social medias, go and retweet, go and like, comment, you know, watch the video on YouTube, right? That just pretty much generates buzz and exposure anyways in itself. But with all that into consideration, it really makes the most sense for me, or makes the most sense to me, to see a release soon, you know. And by soon, like I said before, I mean like end of March, you know, sometime in, you know, next the month after March, April, right? Now that probably may not be the case, but like I said before, you know, do I see them spending more money on ads, you know, when they have the most hype that they'll probably have right now? I don't know, probably not. If they do actually, okay, so here's the deal, right? Let's say Hoyoverse actually made a release date. Let's say they gave us a release date finally, right? The beta just ended for CBT3, right? I do believe that there will be a lot more hype when the game is actually able to be played. So imagine the game is able to be played, right? And then after the game is played, right? So there's just more hype building up, and then Hoyo gives a release date for the game, okay? And let's say they say March 7th. Do you know how much hype that would generate? Not only would it be, first of all, it'd be a meme type, like a meme, you know, within the community of the game, right? A meme within the general audience of Honkai Star Rail. It will also be something of like, you know, wow, they're releasing the game this soon. So everyone is going to be talking about it for like maybe a week or so as the game is getting ready to be released. And that's probably going to be the most hype that this game will probably ever have, right? Versus a release maybe sometime in summer, early summer. That's not a bad idea whatsoever, because there is more people that are able to actually play the games, more people that are able to, you know, that have more time in their hands, more free time. So it makes sense for a summer release, early summer, stuff like that, around that time. But like I said before, I really do see this being in their best interest to actually just have the game released when, you know, it's probably at the peak of its exposure, popularity. Yeah, that's just my opinion at least. But, you know, if they want to spend more money on ads, knock themselves out, I have no problem with that. I will continue making videos, of course, you know, as we do. Come on, man, release the game. I'm tired of making videos on a game that hasn't even released. Please release the game so I can make videos and guides and everything. I'm losing my mind. I will have a video out on Bronya, so expect to see that. Also, for the last video, I do apologize. That was probably the worst video I've ever done. And I really did not go like too into depth into the lore of Welt. I really didn't want to spoil anything in terms of Honkai Star Rail's like lore with Himiko and everything. I didn't want to do that. And I also didn't want the video to be too long, because listen, lore videos could be anywhere from like a good lore video can be anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes, man. And I kind of want, like, it's definitely something I've never done before, so it feels weird to even do a lore video, like anything lore really in the first place. But anyways, hopefully anyone that did enjoy it enjoyed it, and maybe I'll do the same with Bronya. I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.